Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Manaswini and I hope you all are doing well. Today's video is all about some really exciting new beauty launches in the market. We've had a wave of Korean skincare brands finally becoming available in India. There have been a lot of interesting hair care, makeup and even fragrance launches. I have been trying them out and I'm going to tell you what I feel about them and if they're worth trying or not. So without wasting any time, let's get started with skincare. First up is Dr. Althea's 345 Relief Cream. I have been using it for more than a month now and I have used quite a bit of it. If you watch my vlogs, then you know that my favorite thing about this is its texture. It reminds me of the Barrier Plus moisturizer from Formula RX, but this is even better. Talking about the ingredients, this cream has 3 blemish care ingredients, 4 nourishing ingredients and 5 soothing ingredients, and that is where it gets its name from. I love this as an everyday moisturizer for my skin, which is combination at the moment. It feels really good on the skin, but it did not help me with redness. I don't think it did anything for my skin when my skin was breaking out. This cream also has plant extracts like hibiscus and lavender, which can end up irritating sensitive skin. So skip this if your skin does not react well to them, or you can do a patch test first if you're not sure. If your skin is very oily or clogs easily, then this can feel a little too much and contribute to congestion. If you want to get this only to use it as a moisturizer, like a feel good moisturizer, then you can try it. But I don't think it is worth the hype or even the money for that matter. Instead of this, you can actually try Formula RX Barrier Plus. It is such a nice moisturizer. I have personally finished tubes of it. And if you're looking for something to soothe your skin, help with redness or irritation, then try the Midnight Blue cream from Klairs, which is so much more effective. You can totally skip this. Next up is this very popular cleanser from Arencia. It is their fresh green rice mochi cleanser, which is supposed to hydrate and deep clean your skin. This was very recently launched on Nykaa and I've been using it for a week or 10 days and I'm already impressed. I was so convinced to not like it because of the packaging, because how inconvenient it would be to take it out of this tub every day, and of course the price point. But here I am, excited to scoop out cleanser every night like it's dessert. It feels so good on the skin. This is supposed to help with congestion, blackheads, general dullness, and I would say it does. The texture feels like a really soft scrub, but it's not harsh at all. It has these soothing plant-based ingredients that calm skin down. It sucks out all the excess oil from your skin, but still leaves your skin feeling plump. I do not know how. Even if your skin's on the sensitive side, it is gentle enough. You need the tiniest amount to clean your face, and this tub is gonna last you for a really long time. I also tried using it like a mask, but my skin felt exactly like it did after using it as just a cleanser. I felt like I wasted all that product, but I will give this another chance and try it out as a mask, maybe when my skin is breaking out, to see if it actually soothes my skin and helps with the redness. Whenever that happens, I'm gonna update you in the comments. Now in the body care category, I only have this one product to talk about. It is this deodorant from Dove. It is their deodorant dry serum. I'm not sure if it is a new product, but I saw it on Nykaa for the first time and I could not make out, what the packaging is like when I saw it online. Anyway, this is how it is. It smells soft and powdery. You are supposed to squeeze out the tiniest amount of product and directly apply it to your underarms. The packaging gets messy if you take too much of this product, and it also takes a lot of time to dry up. It feels like applying a creamy, balmy moisturizer to your underarms. It's not very convenient, but it does keep odor in control for a good 6-7 hours if you let it dry completely after you apply it. I am a fan of Dove's Deo Sticks and I think they're much better than this. But if you're someone with extremely dry underarms, I think this is gonna be great. About the brightening effect, I think it is too soon to say anything, but in a month of using this every day, I have not noticed any difference. If you're someone who works from home and does not sweat a lot and has the time to apply it and then wait for it to completely dry up, then I think you can give this a try. Otherwise, skip it. There are better underarm roll-ons out there and you don't need a serum. Moving on to hair care, let's start with L'Oreal's new glycolic gloss range. I got the whole range. I have been using these products for a while now and I have a lot of thoughts. Starting with the shampoo, I think it is okay-ish. I mean, it cleans your scalp well, but there's nothing mind-blowing about it. Before this, I was using Naturalie's anti-dandruff shampoo, and I'll be very honest, I think that left my hair shinier than this does. The conditioner is nice though. This leaves my hair super soft and manageable, but again, no extraordinary shine. Now, when I use the shampoo and conditioner together and follow them up with the acidifier, I do feel that the results are slightly better. My hair feels softer, it feels smoother, but again, I do not see the glossy finish that the marketing promised. And this acidifier is such a pain to use. Now you are supposed to apply this on top of your conditioner while you still have conditioner in your hair in the shower. You're supposed to spray this on your hair, and it gets so slippery, so messy, it keeps falling, and it's not at all convenient, and I would honestly skip this just because of how inconvenient it is to use. And finally, the serum. This has to be my favorite product from this range. You only need 1 or 2 drops of it, and it instantly makes your hair so soft, manageable, adds some shine to your hair, and it even helps with frizz. You can use it on wet hair, you can use it on dry hair. I love this. What I want to say is that when I use this whole range together, it does make my hair soft and manageable. It makes my hair easy to detangle, but I did not get that laminated glossy shine that I expected from this range. If you're looking for an affordable, basic, everyday shampoo and conditioner combo to make your hair soft and manageable, then this is fine. You can try this out. But if I had to recommend just one product from this range, it would be the serum. It is something that I think everyone should try. It does not weigh my hair down, and when I style my hair, like blow dry my hair after using this, my hair does look really nice. And this gives the same result even if I don't use it with the other products from this range. You can use it with whatever hair care routine you're following at the moment. Next up, I have this hair serum from Nexxus. I think you all know that it's after a really long time that I've tried a new hair serum, because I was so disappointed with the Olaplex bonding oil. That was so expensive and it did nothing for my hair. उसके बाद सीधा I think this is the only serum that I have purchased, and I'm so glad that I did not waste my money this time. Now this was very recently launched in India, and all the videos that I saw about it were actually collaborations, so I did not really know what to expect from it. But this turned out to be the best serum that I've ever used. It smells really good, by the way. You need just a drop, so this bottle is gonna last you a really long time. The moment I apply this, my hair feels softer, smoother, more manageable, and it also gets frizz under control. Otherwise, my hair would have been a mess by now. I have fine, thin hair, and this does not weigh my hair down. And I just want to say that this is one of the best hair care purchases that I've made in a really long time. This is definitely worth trying. You can get the small size first to, try it out, and then see if you like it and get the bigger size. I think you're not going to be disappointed. You will love this. The next product that I want to talk about is this anti hair fall serum from L'Oreal. Now this I think is from their fall resist range, which I absolutely love. The packaging has been changed, but this product, okay, let me start with the basics. So this is a daily scalp treatment with 1.5% aminexil, caffeine and arginine, all meant to strengthen your roots and reduce your hair fall over time. The formula itself is pretty lightweight and easy to apply. So it is super convenient to use. You will not have to wash your hair the next day. This has really strong fragrance. It literally smells like a perfume. It has menthol. It is also very alcoholy, and if you have a sensitive scalp, then I think you should definitely skip this. When I first started using it, I had some hair fall, like light hair fall, normal hair fall, not a lot of it. And I would also say that I was not very consistent with this. But then monsoon started and my hair fall, increased, which happens every year, and that was very normal to me. So I started using this every day. I think I used it for a month straight every single day, and my hair fall kept getting worse. It reached a point where I had the worst hair fall that I had experienced in years, in the last 3 to 5 years. And the only new thing in my routine was this serum. Like the only scalp serum that I was using was this. That was when I stopped using this because my hair fall was getting out of control. I don't know if it was this serum or the seasonal monsoon shedding, but it was very scary. I'd much rather stick to the serums that I know and trust. The Ordinary's multi-peptide hair density serum and even the Wishcare anti hair fall serum. Both of those are fragrance free. They have worked for me in the past, and I feel much more confident recommending them. For now, I just can't see myself going back to this one. I saw a lot of positive reviews for this serum. That is why I give it a try. And maybe it worked differently for other people. Let me know in the comments if you have tried this and how did it work for you, because I don't know. I'm sure it's gonna help someone out. Now moving on to makeup, I have the lip melts from Rucha Beauty. I really like the packaging. They look so cute. I've seen very mixed reviews about these, but I personally loved using them. The only thing I do not like about these is the fragrance. It is this plasticky, minty, chocolatey fragrance which I could totally do without. Now this is marketed as a 3-in-1 balm, plumper and gloss. To me, it definitely feels like a balm. The texture is balmy, kind of like the elf lip oil but thicker, still completely non-sticky. When you apply it, it feels minty but there's no burning or tingling, and also no instant plumping effect. I think the plump comes from the moisture and nourishment that it gives to your lips, like when you've worn it for a while and then it fades off, or you wipe it off, your lips feel super soft and plump. That is the plump that you get, not the plump that increases the size of your lips. I hope I'm making sense. Even without reapplying these, my lips stay soft for quite a while. Finish wise, it is not super glossy. If you apply one coat, it does not look like a gloss, it looks like a lip balm only. But if you layer it twice, then you will feel that it looks like a shimmery lip gloss. I have the shades Glossical and Whimsical, and both of them look very pretty. These are actually labeled as hybrid pH lip glosses, and they do give you this pink tint, like a subtle pink tint. It's not that super bright magenta that pH products give you. So that's something that I like. Overall, I would say it is a good product, and in my opinion, it is basically a shimmery lip balm in a bottle packaging. Moving on to the next product, we finally have Fenty Beauty in India. And of course, the first product that I got is a lip product. When Fenty was launched, I actually went to Sephora to try out their basic gloss. I really wanted to get that, but I ended up liking their gloss bomb oil more. I went with a friend, and even she liked the texture of this more than the gloss. The gloss felt sticky, and the oil was totally non-sticky and in fact looked glossier in the store. I have it in the shade Fussy. It is a subtle sheer pink. It is super hydrating and gives your lips that glossy shine with tiny shimmer particles. I love the paddle shaped applicator, by the way. Now I'm gonna say something a little controversial. I got the Fenty lip oil first, and then I got the Mrucha lip melt from a friend. And the first time I applied the Mrucha lip melt on my lips, it instantly reminded me of the Fenty lip oil. The Mrucha lip melt is thicker and more balmy, while the Fenty feels slightly runnier and glossier. I know no one expected this comparison, but the main difference that I found in both these products is that, see, both of them wear off after some time. With Fenty, my lips feel dry the moment it is off my lips. But with the Mrucha lip melt, even after this fades away, my lips continue feeling soft and plump. That is what impressed me the most. So in terms of texture and feel, they are quite similar. Fenty is smoother, it is shinier, but if you want lasting hydration and softness, then the Mrucha lip melt wins, shockingly for a much lower price. Also, I do not think that any of these is a must have. If you have chapped lips and you want something for nourishment, then there are a lot of lip treatments and lip balms in the market. And if you want just a gloss, then there are a lot of beautiful lip glosses in the market. But if you're, meaning to try a hybrid and you wanted to try one of these, then you know what I feel. Next up is Maybelline's new Bubble Mascara. I've already posted a YouTube shorts about it. It just did not work for me. It does give you a lot of volume and it is completely smudge proof and waterproof. But the brand claims that this is supposed to give you weightless a volume, and I just do not agree. It made my lashes feel so heavy, like it was actually not letting me see properly. My lashes literally dropped down. The wand is nice and coats every lash, but even with just one coat, my lashes looked clumpy. The biggest issue for me was removing this mascara. I use some of my best cleansing oils, the ones that actually get rid of, stubborn makeup, waterproof mascaras. But they could also not take this out. It was a task, and इस पूरे process में I ended up losing a lot of my lashes, and I don't think I can afford that. Maybe it could work for you if you have thicker lashes, but I don't think it's for people with thin lashes. Skip this, we have better mascaras in the market. Next up, I have the newly launched Ideal Kajals from Faye. The last product that I tried from them were their modern matte lipsticks, which I did not like a lot because I expected the texture to be smoother. There are so many better creamy matte lipsticks in the market, and I was really disappointed. But this I really like. These kajals are buttery smooth, they're super pigmented in just one swipe, and the shades are beautiful. The black is a true deep black, And the brown is not a reddish brown, it's a rich, deep brown, which I think will look flattering on a lot of skin tones. Another thing that I really like is that this does not irritate or sting my eyes, which is great because these are marketed as, suitable for sensitive eyes. Now, I would say they are completely waterproof. Water does not move it, but if you rub really hard on it, try to smudge it, then it does fade away. But I think no one's rubbing their eyes aggressively when they have kajal on. It also comes with a precise sharpener and a flat brush at the back. The sharpener is actually really nice. If you're someone that does their liner, winged liner with a kajal pencil, then it's going to be very convenient. It is extremely soft though, so be very careful when you're sharpening the tip, it can break. The flat brush also is really nice. If you want to do like a smudged liner, then the brushes are great. I don't think that the brushes can be used for a smoky look. I would prefer something denser and bigger for a smoky eye. Talking about how long they last, I think they stayed intact on my lid for a good 5 to 6 hours before they started fading away. My lids are also oily, so if you want them to last longer, you can obviously set your lids with powder first and then apply these. But even at the end of the day, it is there. It does not completely disappear. It fades, but it is there. On my waterline, I have only tried the brown one and it stayed the whole day. This did not fade at all. Overall, I think it's a solid everyday kajal for people with sensitive eyes. If you have extremely oily lids, then you can skip this. Next up is this new lip balm from e.l.f. It is their Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. This is not a brand new launch. It was launched a couple of months ago, but I did not get a chance to talk about it, so here I am. This one's a tinted lip balm with a super glossy finish and it is buttery smooth to apply. The pigment is actually really nice, not too sheer, and it even works well on pigmented lips. I got it in the shade Strawberry Shortcake, which is a very subtle, everyday, pretty pink. They also have some shades that will look beautiful on deeper skin tones. I really like the shade Blackberry Sorbet. It looks so beautiful and it smells great too. My only issue with this lip balm is its texture. It is a little too runny. I would have liked it more if it was slightly thicker. The first time I tried this, it reminded me of the Indie Wild Dewy Lip Treatments, but it is not as thick as those or even as nourishing as those. It's a good everyday lip balm if you're okay reapplying it throughout the day. But if you have super chapped and dry lips, then I don't think this would be enough. I think it is for 1000 rupees. You can totally skip this and get the Indie Wild DLT instead, or the Tipsy Beauty Pout Polish Lip Balm. That's so good. They're both cheaper than this and so much better. Finally, moving on to the last category for today's video, new fragrance launches. I have come to realize that you all love fragrances as much as I do, so I'm happy to talk about them. I have two new fragrance launches with me, and both of them are inspired by one of my favorite fragrances ever, which is Kayali's Yum Bougie Marshmallow. I have Cloud Candy from Khadlaj and Buried in Marshmallows from Muse Beauty. I also have Marshmallow Blush from Paris Corner, and I've already done a comparison of that and the original in a video that I did a couple of months ago. So you can check that out. I will be talking about that today as well so that you all have a better idea of how all of these compare. Starting with Cloud Candy, it is stronger than the Kayali, but this smells very candy-like, like candied strawberries, candied raspberries. The sweetness in this one is a very syrupy sweetness. You get the marshmallow, you get the sugariness, but you do not get the creaminess that the original one has. It is fun and playful. I think that is why this smells juvenile to me, because it reminds me of candy, and it also smells a little synthetic. It can feel cloying after a while because it is extremely sweet and it stays that way throughout the day. Buried in Marshmallows from Muse Beauty is another new launch, and I think it is a really nice, affordable alternative to the Kayali Ambushi marshmallow. This also opens very fruity, sweet, marshmallowy. There's no lemon in this like the original. I don't get any lemon in this one. This again leans sweeter than the original and has, a little bit of that synthetic vibe. I think this smells more like Cloud Candy by Khadlaj and not Kayali's Yambuji Marshmallow. Finally, we have Marshmallow Blush, which in my opinion is the closest smelling to the Kayali. It is definitely stronger than that. It opens a little sharper. You get a lot of lemon. I don't get the strawberry in this as much as I get the lemon. In the original, I get more strawberry and less lemon. Also, you cannot overspray this. 2 sprays of this are equal to 10 to 12 sprays of the original. Now that it has macerated completely, it has become beast mode. I spray it on in the morning and it stays for days On my skin, it stays all day long. Even on the next day, it is there on my skin. It is that strong. This has a little bit of the creaminess that the original has, but this remains my favorite. This is the most sophisticated smelling of them all, and the dry down of this one is beautiful. You get all the lemon and strawberry when you spray it on, but then it changes with time, and the dry down is musky, it's whipped vanilla, it's soft. I love that. With this one, there's nothing subtle or soft about this. This is loud. I get a bit of coconut in this one, which I do not get in any of the clones. I think that is what sets this apart. These two will be my pick. I personally love both of them. And if you're okay with your perfume smelling a little candy like, then you can try these, any of these. Both of these are great. If you want to get something affordable, then definitely check out the Muse Beauty one. I think it is under rupees 1000. And if you're planning to spend rupees 3000 on Khadlaj Cloud Candy, then I would say go for Marshmallow Blush instead. The most long lasting of them all is Marshmallow Blush, and the least lasting of all is the original Kayali and the Muse Beauty Buried in Marshmallows. I'm sure the Muse Beauty one will macerate and get better with the time, but for now, both of them stay on my skin for a good 4 to 5 hours. The Kayali one stays on my clothes for much longer. The Muse Beauty one for 7 hours. Tell me in the comments if you have tried any of these and how do you feel about it. If you have more than one, then how do you compare them? Fragrance is very subjective and we all smell perfumes differently. So do drop a comment because your review is going to be helpful to everyone watching this video. Those were all the products that I wanted to talk about. We've finally come to the end of this video. I hope you all found it helpful and enjoyed watching. If you did, then hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, then do not forget to subscribe. It's gonna mean a lot to me. I'm gonna see you all next week. Bye bye.